A heartily good afternoon to everyone. I, Rahul Kanodia, Assistant Professor, IMT College of Science and Technology, present a pleasant greeting to the respected people of recognizing from IMT College of Science and Technology, Greater Noida. Our estimated director, Dr. Poonam Pandey, our Honorable Dean, Dr. C.S. Yadav, IIC President and HOD of BSc CS, Dr. Vaishali, and IIC Convener, Dr. Disha Vidyarthi. I also warmly welcome all other dignitaries, IIC Coordinator, and our students to this live session. This is the workshop titled Basic of Intellectual Property Rights IPR and its importance for innovators and entrepreneurs. It's aimed to equip you with the foundational understanding of intellectual property rights, how to protect your innovations, and how to leverage them for the entrepreneurial success. We have our guest, Mr. Abhishek Kumar, a software engineer at FrankConnect, who will share his valuable knowledge and experience about how intellectual property can help to protect innovation and grow business. I would like to request Mr. Abhishek, please.
Hello,
Yes,
am I audible?
yeah.
Uh, Thank you. Uh, First of all, a very heartily good afternoon to everyone present over here. I would like to express my sincere gratitude towards Mr. Rahul Kanodia and IIMT College of Science and Technology for providing me this opportunity to talk on a very important topic today. Thank you for inviting me to your session. And so Today we will be talking on the topic of intellectual property. What is intellectual property and what are the rights? What rights do the intellectual property rights holder have over their work, over their innovation or their product or whatever? So yeah, this session is about intellectual property. So I will begin with a short introduction to intellectual property. So first of all, we we should know what actually is intellectual property. It is not something physical which we can see or touch. It is a creativity of our mind. Uh, it is a creative idea of our mind that that we produce, that we like suppose invent or some type of invention or design, music or books or any such thing which we can't, which is like of an abstract thing first in our mind, and then we give shape to it in our physical world. So that is what a intellectual property actually is. It is more or less like a physical property like our land or our houses or any physical assets that we own. We have rights over our intellectual property also. So uh, in intellectual property, we have the ownership of our thoughts, of our ideas, of our creative uh, work, like suppose some article or book or even a photograph or music. So that is what intellectual property is. And it is a very valuable asset for anyone who creates it, because whether you are an artist or an inventor or an entrepreneur, it is a very valuable asset for the one who produces it or who creates it, because it is your idea that you came up with. It is not copied from the world. So it is very important for you to protect it from any misuse by any other person. So yeah, that is what basically intellectual property is. So so now that we have understood about intellectual property, I would like to also explain why is it important. Why is intellectual property important? So the person who creates any new product or any piece of art, so he should get some profit, because it was not everyone can create an intellectual property. So it is very hard for someone to come up with such a brilliant idea or piece of art. So he should get some profit from it, from their own ideas, and no one else should. So it is very important. Suppose it is very important to protect your rights uh, on your intellectual property. So suppose, for example, we have a software company which creates a new software that provides that helps many people to make their life easy or in any way for people or for businesses. So only that company should gain the profit from that app or their idea or business idea or whatever. So yeah, or if someone else is taking claiming your property as their own, so that should not be the case. So intellectual property, knowing about intellectual property is very important for a creator or for an innovator or entrepreneur. It is very important for them. So so that they can protect it from misuse or illegal use uh, from other persons. So like yeah, and now known about since we have known about what is intellectual property and why is it important, we should also know about the types of IP or intellectual property. So uh, there are uh, basically broadly it is divided into four categories like patents. We have patents and trademarks, copyright, and uh, and also secrets like trade secrets. So I will explain each one in some details. So what is a patent? Patent is granted on something that is a new invention or an improvement of a previous invention or product that has already been there in the market. But if you create some innovative improvement in that, that is also comes under patent. So we can patent is granted for any new invention or significant improvement to an existing product. So like for example, many smartphone companies nowadays like Apple or Samsung, they have uh, patented their design of smartphones and all the internal embedded components that they use so that no one else can use without their permission. And yeah, it grants the inventor exclusive rights for a set period of time. Like it is usually around 20 years. So a patent is valid for about 20 years. After that, it may be used by public without any consequences. And without a patent, anyone would copy your invention and they can use it and sell it as their own. So you might face some losses. So yeah, that is what a patent is. Then we come to the next point, that is trademark. So what is a trademark? It is basically an identity of a brand. We can identify any brand by their name or logo, any specific logo. Like suppose for an example, take Apple. We have that bitten apple as a logo for Apple. So we know it by its logo. Or for example, Nike. If you take Nike, that tick mark of Nike, it is very famous. So that is what a trademark is. Any logo or design or slogan, that is what a trademark is. And brands or any startups or any entrepreneur that comes up with an idea, he should uh, register his trademark so that it is a he feels credible. That company feels credible by the people. People trust that company. So trademarks protect your brand identity, like a logo or name, anything like that. And trademark also helps customer identify your product or services in the market. In this vast market, they identify you by your logo or your name or any such identity. So yeah, that is what a trademark is. It guarantees a type of quality or uh, experience that you promised by a trademark. They can last indefinitely, like as long as you keep renewing your trademark, it can last forever. And then comes the next point, that is copyright. Copyright protects your original piece of art, like any written work or any painting, drawing, photograph, music, books, they all come under copyright. So if you want to protect these assets of yours, these intellectual assets of yours, you have to make it a copyright thing. uh, so if you write a book, it will come under a copyright protection. And similarly for software industries, if you write a piece of code that you don't want someone else to use, so you will have to copyright that piece of code, or your design of your website or app, the UI of your app or website, that also comes under copyright. So you have to make it copyright so that no one else can use it illegally without your knowledge. And then comes some trade secrets. Trade secrets are basically they are not protected by any outside law, they are internal. Like the secret of Coca-Cola recipe, uh, it is said that only two or three people know the recipe of Coca-Cola, so that is a trade secret that can't be like that can't come out in the open world. So that is kept a secret. That is also a type of protection of your intellectual property. And the steps to protect your intellectual property, that we should also, like, if you own a intellectual property, now you should be worried about how to protect it from other people, from illegal use or unauthorized use. So for that, you must follow some steps, 4 5 steps that uh, so like the first step is to first of all identify what type of protection that needs. Like, suppose if you have a company, then like, if you invented a product, if you invented something or you made a new product, then that product should be patented. But and also, if your company has some brand name or logo, then that should be under trademark. And if you have some design or some written work, then that should be under copyright. So first of all, you have to identify what type of protection you need. So you have to ask yourself some questions, like, is it a product, or is it a process, or a unique design, or a business logo, whatever. And that the whatever the answer comes out according to you, according to that, you will have to select the type of protection that you want. So that is the first step, to first of all identify what type of protection you need. Then comes the second step, like, you will have to choose the right type of protection for your product or your design or logo, whatever, according to these four categories that I've explained earlier, like a patent, trademark, copyright, or trade secrets. So you will have to categorize according to that. And after that, you will have to file your application. That is the third step. You will have to file an application in your local, I mean, in your country, or if you want to go international, you want to provide your services or your product globally, then you will have to register it in international organizations or international governing bodies that take care of such things. So first of all, you will identify and decide what type of protection you need. Then you can file for intellectual property protection. Like, for example, in India, you can file for patents through Indian Patent Office, and trademarks can be registered through Indian Trademark Registry. And if you want to go international and provide your services and products to throughout the globe, then you have to apply through World Intellectual Property Organization, which handles global applications for patents and trademark. And so now that you have registered for your intellectual property, protection of your intellectual property, so the last step that comes is, now you will have to monitor any misuse of your intellectual property. Like, someone should not copy your design or your code or your product and sell it cheaply and earn profit from that. You should be the sole owner of that product or whatever you have created, and you should profit from that. No one else should. So you will have to keep monitoring the throughout the world that no one else does that. No one else copies your ideas and profits from that. So yeah, you have to keep an eye on the market to ensure no one is using your IP without permission. From IP, I mean intellectual property. And if you find someone that is doing so, then you can send a legal notice to that person or that organization, which whoever is doing so. And if still they do not like stop using your intellectual property, then you can go in a court against them, file a lawsuit. So yeah, that is what. Now we come to the real life examples that in, are available in software industry and your intellectual property protection. So like in copywriting softwares, the like softwares heavily rely on code, and to protect the code from being used by anyone, we will have to make the code copyright. Like for example, we have Windows, Microsoft Windows. So Microsoft owns the copyright of Windows so that no one else can reproduce it without their permission. And Microsoft will not allow anyone to make a copy of Windows, because that is very harmful for their business. So they will constantly look out in the market that no one is copying their code. And like similarly, we can patent for algorithms, like specific algorithms that you have created. Like Google have created their an algorithm to rank the websites on its search engine, which is what Google does. Google is basically a search engine. Google was basically a search engine from the start. So that uh, it patented that piece of algorithm, and that algorithm that ranks the websites according to their reach. So it also prevents others from copying that algorithm. And like similarly, there are trade secrets even in software industries. Like Facebook has certain algorithms that target ads to specific users. So yeah, that is kept as a trade secret. No one else can access it. And if you fail to protect your intellectual property in the software industry, you can it can lead to a loss of revenue. It can be a very major loss, and yeah, it will weaken your position in the market. So yeah, that is why we have to protect our intellectual property in the market. And the like this was all about the software industry. Now there are, for new entrepreneurs and new innovators that come in the market with their idea, they face major challenges in protecting their intellectual property. So what are these challenges? We will know further. So first of all, that is the cost of protection, like filing patents and registering trademarks. These all are very costly affair, and can get out of hands. The expenses can get out of hands for small businesses and startups which have just started. So it can be very like demoralizing for them. So that it costs very much to file for your trademark or whatever copyright protection. And there are also the complexities of IP laws. Like it can be very complex and vary from country to country and globally. So understanding that which type of protection is best for your creation and navigating through the legal system can be very time consuming. And yeah, it is very time consuming and a cumbersome job. So that is also a major challenge that new innovators and entrepreneurs face in today's world. And there are also risks of infringement. Like even after registering your intellectual property uh, for their rights, businesses have to keep monitoring their competitors to ensure that their rights aren't being violated, like uh, like their creation is not being copied by someone else. So yeah, that is also a major issue in today's world. Like you have to constantly keep an eye on the market so that no one else copies your work of art or whatever you have created. And then also we have to look for global protection, so that not only in your country but throughout the world you have to maintain privacy and secrecy of your like you have to own your work so that no one else can use it illegally. So that is also a major challenge, because we will have to uh, like it requires filing through multiple jurisdictions, filing for IP rights through multiple jurisdictions, which increases costs and complexity. Yeah. You are not audible. Hello.
Sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Uh, Sir, I would like to ask some questions why should innovator and entrepreneurs care about intellectual property rights?
Like it an innovator and entrepreneur. As an innovator, you work very hard to create something. Sorry. you have to work very hard to create something new. And suppose if someone else is taking credit of that, someone else is gaining profit from your work, so that is very demoralizing for you. You would want that your your creation be solely yours, that you are the sole owner of your creation, no one else uses that for their profit. So that is why you should, like, innovators and entrepreneurs should uh, think about intellectual property rights. They should protect their work from illegal usage. And yeah, without this protection, someone else could easily use your idea or brand or logo or whatever you have created and earn profit from that. So that would be very demoralizing for other people also who want to create something new. Mm. So that is why.
Previously, you have said about patent and trademark. Can you please tell me the difference between that about patent and trademark? What is the major difference between them?
So, sir, patent is used is a legal right to given to an inventor who suppose creates something new, makes a new invention, or improves something that is pre-existing but improves its working or innovates in any way. So that is basically for any new inventions like or technologies. For suppose, for example, in smartphone companies, they come up with new ideas each year. Like there are many innovations in the smartphone technology, so they have to patent. That is what a patent is. And trademark is basically like a logo or any slogan or any name or symbol that represents the company. So trademark protects that logo from misuse, that logo, that name, that slogan from any misuse. And patent is for preventing the misuse or illegal use of your invention for their own profit. Yeah.
Mhm. Mr. Vivek sir, can you please tell me that can a company own intellectual property?
Uh, of course, like companies companies are also treated as an entity or a body, same as a person. So as a person can own intellectual property, companies can also own intellectual property. Like suppose Google, take for an example Google is a very big company, and it owns many intellectual properties. It has its search engine, and there are many Gmail services, YouTube, and all these services. So yeah, that is intellectual property, and that is owned by the company, not by any individual. So yeah, companies can own intellectual property.
Okay.
They
Uh,
have
as
they have
you
the
are a
control.
software developer, so I would like to ask one question that how does copyright protect software and other digital content?
So copyright protects software. Like software is basically code. So suppose we have written some code that performs some action, uh, and the whole software is code, basically code. So if someone copies that same code and uses for their own software, so like they didn't do any work. That work was mine. So copyright protects my code from being misused by other person, so that they don't profit from my work. Only I profit from my work. No one else does, unless I provide them permission that they can use. No one else can use it. So copyright protects softwares, and also UI design of website or app, that is also protected under copyright.
Uh, uh, Mr. Abhishek, can you please tell me that how intellectual property rights roles in a startup ecosystem? Means for a startup, what is the role of IPR? Means it's intellectual property rights.
So like basically startup startups are that something that provide uh, some solution to some problems, pre-existing problems. And that was uh, a creative idea of someone's innovation. The startup is basically someone's innovation and someone's creative idea in work. So if they have to protect their, that is an intellectual property that provides some services or some products to other people. So the owner or the company itself will own the intellectual property and prevent it from usage by others. So to prevent uh, heavy losses, because if someone else is in the market competing with their own product, like they stole your product and they are competing against you, so that will be a loss for your company or for the entrepreneur or the innovator, whoever it is. So basically, you should protect your intellectual property to prevent, first of all, prevent loss and prevent misuse of your idea by other people, illegal use by other people.
So, can you also tell me that how to enforce your IP rights, means intellectual properties? How can be enforced it?
Basically, we have to look out in the market that no one else is using your intellectual property. If they are, in any case, in such cases, you will, first of all, you will have to send them a notice that stop doing so and so, otherwise you will face legal consequences in the court. That is the way, that is the only way to prevent misuse of your uh, of your innovation or your art, piece of art, work of art.
Okay. So, can you please tell me the importance of IPR? That what is the importance of intellectual property rights in a real life scenario?
Sorry.
Can you please tell me the importance of intellectual rights, property rights in real life scenario? Means what is the importance of IPR in our real life scenario?
uh, like in real life, like I can tell you about software industry. For taking an example of software industry, like in software industry, intellectual property is crucial because software is often based on unique and innovative ideas, like some unique and innovative idea of someone. And IPR helps software companies protect their code, algorithms, and digital content. For example, copyright protects the code in software programs, preventing others from copying or distributing your code illegally without your permission. Patents can also be used to protect innovative features or algorithms that makes a software product stand out. Additionally, many companies use trade secrets to protect valuable information like algorithms or marketing strategies. Without IPR, companies risk losing control over their creations and miss out on revenue opportunities. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Can you please tell me the what is the role of a trade secrets in protecting business information? Means what is the actual role of trade secret in to protect our trade businesses or our own business?
Uh, Trade secrets are, as the name suggests it, like they are secrets that no one else should know. They are the core of your business idea, business strategy, or your product or whatever you are producing. The secrets, like in case of Coca-Cola, the secret ingredient is not known to more than two people. So yeah, if everyone knows the secret, then they can produce the same thing, and your revenue will go down. So that is why we should protect our trade secrets. It should not be, it should not leak in public anytime, or else you will face major losses. Yeah. Uh, uh, you are not audible, sir.
I just asked that can we sell or transfer the intellectual property rights? Is it possible?
Yeah. We have you have the rights to sell or reproduce or distribute your intellectual property. That totally depends on you if you want to do so or not. Like uh, suppose, for example, if you have some business idea uh, and you want to and you want others to use it, so you can sell that idea to others. For Same is the case with if you are a musician, you have wrote a piece of music, or if you are an author, you have written a book. So you sell your rights. Movies are created based on books. So you sell the rights of that book to the movie creator, to the producer. So yeah, you are the sole owner of your intellectual work, and you have all the rights to sell it or not sell it, to distribute it or not. That totally depends on the owner of the intellectual property.
Okay. The another question I just want to ask that how can innovator ensure their intellectual property is protected internationally? Means, as you have previously said that for international or globally, you have to take a World Intellectual Property Organization. So
Yeah, yeah.
how can innovator ensure their intellectual property is protected internationally? Can you please?
So, suppose if the creator or innovator wants to expand globally, so they should seek protection under international bodies or governing bodies that provide international protection. Like one such example is World Intellectual Property Organization. Like you will have to register in their office whatever the procedure is. You can find it on the internet. You have to register your ideas or your trademarks, your or whatever you want to apply, whether you want a patent or a copyright, you can apply there, and yeah, that will make sure that no one else uses it uh, throughout the world. And, and another such body is Patent Cooperation Treaty that streamlines patent filing across multiple countries. So yeah, they protect. These are the international bodies that protect your work throughout the world. Yeah, from being misused. They protect from being misused.
Can you please tell me what are the some common challenges faced when protecting intellectual properties?
Mm, What are challenges like? Uh,
I just
the
want
challenges
common,
that
what are the common challenges faced by the when you protecting intellectual property? Means when we're protecting our intellectual property, we have some face some challenges. Can you please tell me what that challenges we faced during protecting that intellectual property?
like even for protecting, even if you suppose if someone else is using without your permission, uh, like in case of books, let's take an example of a book. An author has written a book, and nowadays people produce PDF files, scan the books, and circulate it online. That is totally illegal. And mm, although there are many bodies to prevent such things, and it is illegal, but still it is there in the market. Still people are doing those. So yeah, that is a hard job to keep an eye on the market, to protect, to prevent such things from happening. Yeah, it is very hard job, but yeah, that is still happening. So it is a challenge. It is a challenge for all the bodies and for the author itself to prevent such things. These are the challenges.
All right. So, Abhishek sir, do you have any PDFs, PDF or presentation so that
Oh,
we can
yeah, I have one uh, what we PowerPoint presentation. I would like to that
please?
share. Uh, Give me a second.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I would like to share my screen.
Yes, please.
It says only the host can share in this meeting.
Just a minute. Just check the settings. I think now you can share your screen.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm able to. Oh, I am on my phone right now because I don't have my personal laptop with me. So yeah. So is it visible?
Yes, sir. Visual.
Okay. What is happening? Okay. So yeah, I would like to, like, we have already covered the basics of intellectual property rights. So this is the PowerPoint presentation. We will go through the pages one by one. So yeah, what is intellectual property? So intellectual property refers to creation of the mind, like invention, design, names, and artistic work. So intellectual property basically refers to the unique unique ideas or creations of someone. Like, as I've already explained, like it could be a piece of music, a book, a poem, or a piece of software, anything that is unique. So that is what an intellectual property is. Any invention, that is also an intellectual property. Uh, and to prevent the misuse of your intellectual property, we have intellectual property rights that provides legal protection for this creation. Uh, and what are the types of intellectual property rights? That are patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. These are the like basic. There might be many more, but these four are the uh, basic classification. And why is IPR important? So, intellectual property rights are important because it encourages innovation by rewarding creativity. Like, suppose if someone invented something or created something, and if he or she is not getting the profits from that, that will basically discourage everyone else to not do any such thing. Like, why would someone do something that doesn't provide any uh, uh, profit or anything to them? So you have to encourage innovation. IPR is very important. It rewards your creativity and it provides a competitive edge to businesses. Like, you come up with an idea that no one else is providing, so that will help your business grow and yeah, expand in the market. And IPR also protects investments in research and development. Like, suppose if a company has invested heavily in research and development, and the R&D team comes up with some new product or any
Excuse
new
me, Indu ma'am. Indu.
idea, and someone else steals it. So what would be the uh, what would be the role of research and development of that company? Like, they worked so hard to come up with such an idea and someone else stole it. So that would be very demoralizing for them. So IPR also prevents such things. And yeah, it protects your investment in research and development, and it creates value through licensing, partnership, and sales. Like, you have the rights to whether you want to sell it or reproduce it or distribute it, uh, like via copyright. So if you have some copyright objects of like, by objects I mean any piece of code, or if you are an author, like, then your books, and you can sell the rights and it will be very profitable to you. You have the like ownership of that work, and you can profit it by partnershiping with others or selling the product or whatever you have created. And what are the types of intellectual property? So we have patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. As I've already explained,
Yeah.
patents protects invention and new processes. Like, uh, uh, you have, like, let's take an example of the light bulb. It might not have been patented, but if someone created the light bulb, like, then they can patent it, and they will make much profit from it. Uh, so yeah, that was just an example. That was not the case, uh, but I just took an example. Uh, and similarly with the trademarks, like, you have to secure your brand identity and logos and names. Like, I told about the Nike and
Apple.
Apple. So they have their logos, their brand names, and they protect it under trademark. No one else can use it, or else they will have to face legal cases in the court. Similarly with the copyrights, like, by copyright we can safeguard our artistic and literary works. Like, in the case of authors or musicians or photographers, their art is protected under copyrights. And and trade secrets that preserve confidential business information. Like, in the case of Coca-Cola, the secret recipe is not known by many. It is known only by two people. So yeah, that is a secret that is keeping them in business and helping them compete with their other competitors. And now we IPR for innovators. So intellectual property rights protects new ideas and inventions from being copied. If you created something new or invented something new, then you have to protect it under IPR so that no one else uh, copies it or misuses it. It also ensures innovators can profit from their creation. So that is also a very important aspect. Like if you created something or if you innovated something, then you should gain some profit from it, and IPR ensures that you have some profit from your creation. And it also builds credibility and trust in the market, like via through trademark registration, you you gain the trust of your customers in the market. So yeah, that builds credibility and trust, and it also encourages collaboration and funding opportunities. uh, like you can collaborate with someone else, and you can also sell your rights to fund yourself or fund your uh, whatever you are doing. And IPR for entrepreneurs, it establishes brand value and customer trust. Like if you suppose you started a new company, so uh, if you use IPR, like you have created an intellectual property and you register it, you have the rights of it, then you can also gain the trust of customer, and your brand value will increase because no one else can use your ideas and your innovations. And it secures business models and operational processes, prevents competitors from exploiting unique offerings, and facilitates expansion through licensing and franchising. So secures business models and operational processes. Uh, Suppose you have some business model on which your business works, so no one else can use that same business model without your permission, your same business model without your permission. So yeah, that also helps in uh, creating like trust in the market, and what uh, it prevents other competitors from exploiting your ideas. And yeah, it also helps in expanding your business and connecting more people with you. And how to protect your IP, like there are basically four steps. Like you have to first of all identify what type of protection you need, whether is it an invention or a design or a brand. Then according to whatever the answer comes, you have to choose the right type of IPR, like patent or trademark, copyright or trade secret. And then you will have to file with the appropriate authorities, like national or international, wherever you want to do the business, like in your own country or internationally. According to that, you will have to register and monitor and enforce your rights to prevent misuse. You have to keep on monitoring, keep an eye on the market so that no one else misuses your product or your uh, creation. And common challenges in IPR. It is very costly and time consuming registration process. You have to basically go through many steps, and it is very time consuming also and money consuming also. So it is costly affair, and it is also difficult to monitor unauthorized users, like I told about the distribution of books via making PDF of it, scanning it and sharing it online. That is a misuse, and it is very difficult to monitor that. So these are some of the common challenges, uh, and many small businesses don't know about IPR. So that is also a challenge, and it is also a challenge to enforce your IP rights across different regions. So these are some of the common challenges in IPR. And benefits of protecting your intellectual property, that it promotes innovation and economic growth. It helps, it it ensures that everyone gets their fair share. Like if they created something, then they get their share of uh, uh, money and whatever respect, and it also enhances reputation and market value. Like if you created something, then your reputation will grow. And if your business idea is worthy and many people are using it, then your market value will also grow. And it encourages foreign investment and partnership. Like if your idea is very good, then many foreign companies will invest in your company or your innovation or whatever you have created. And it strengthens legal standing in disputes. Like if you have a dispute with someone else that they have stolen my idea, if you would have registered for IP rights, intellectual property rights, then you will have a positive side. You will have a plus point on them that you can benefit from your IP rights, and you will strengthen your case. And like some of case studies, like in case of Microsoft, it protects its software using copyrights. Uh, we can't, no one can copy Microsoft's any software or its operating system that we know, famous Windows. And similarly, is the case with Coca-Cola. It keeps it secret, a recipe a secret. No one, very few people know it. And like in the case of Apple, it uses patents to protect its technology and design. And Nike secure its brand with trademarks. And to come to a conclusion, intellectual property rights are very crucial for innovators and entrepreneurs. It promotes innovation and entrepreneurship by providing them a strong like backbone, like they have protection. If they created something, then they have the rights, they own the rights of their creation, and they protect creative efforts and foster economic growth. Start by okay, like we should start by identifying ourselves and safeguarding our intellectual assets today. If we created something or if we produced something, if we did any innovation, then we should start from today itself to protect it. And yeah, our ideas are valuable and we should protect them wisely. So this was the presentation. I would like to stop sharing now.
This is all about IPR. Okay, Abhishek, I just want one question that
Yeah,
what is the significance of IPR in your software industry? Can you please
yeah, it is very significant. Like in my company, it is a leading company in its own domain. So we have to protect our code and our business idea from our competitors, so that uh, we we always stay in lead. So we patent our algorithms and we copyright our design and code so that no one else can copy it and become a competitor of ours. And we face some backlashes in the market. So yeah, that helps very much in software industry also. And majorly every software company uses uh, like IP, intellectual property rights, to prevent their softwares and everything that they've created from falling in uh, like bad hands or whatever we can say.
okay, I would like to request Dr. Isha ma'am, please, can you please tell something?
Thank you so much, Mr. Rahul. And first and foremost, I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to Mr. Abhishek, a software engineer from Stanford. And thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek, for connecting with us today on the session for IPR and its relevance for innovators and entrepreneurs. That was such a great treat to our ears that you elaborated on such technicalities and that people need to understand that IPR is not just about the research or academic industry. It is very much relevant to the innovators and the entrepreneurs as well. And I'm glad that you elaborated on such technicalities like trademark, trade secret, patent, and how to protect the innovative ideas, and lot many technicalities. And I also thank Mr. Rahul for raising such important questions. And it was a sheer guidance to the young entrepreneurs if they are looking forward for something in this industry, and how like it is highly important that if you are having any idea and if you want to generate or establish yourself in this business field, these technicalities are very important to understand in the initial ages and stages as well. So I think on the behalf of whole team of IIC and the Science and Technology, IMT College of Science and Technology, and all the coordinators and Dean Academics and Director Ma'am, Dr. Poonam Pandey Ma'am, that we are able to connect with such industry relevant people under institutions innovation council, and like we are having these kinds of conversation, such field appropriate workshops and sessions. So once again, thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek, for joining in with us today, and hopefully we'll be connecting in future as well. And it is good to see that young people of this industry are so much knowledgeable and they are sharing their knowledge as well. So it was really delightful to have you here on this platform. Thank you so much, all the coordinators. Thank you so much, Mr. Rahul. And once again, thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek. Hope to see you soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me as
Thank,
well. It was
Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek. If you want to share something, like this is the second time we are connecting through IIC. If you have something in your mind, you can share it with us because it was really helpful that our young students had this opportunity to hear it from you.
yeah, like thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. And it was a very knowledgeable session for me also. I prepared for it I was preparing for it from past 2 days, and it was very knowledgeable for me also. And yeah, everyone should know about these if they want to innovate something, or if they want to come up with some new ideas or innovations. So they should know how to protect their intellectual property so that no one else is using their uh, uh,
Yeah,
using
yeah,
their
very
idea. Yeah, that
definitely. And
was.
like you said that even in the field of technology, the production of the codes in the software industry as well. So this was enlightening because IPR we generally relate to the academics and copyright content. But there are a lot many things in the market out there to protect that idea if we're talking about patent and copyright. So yes, the ending note is that thank you so much, and it was great to have you here. And it is good to see that young people are connecting with us through this platform. Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
thank you so much, Dr. Disha ma'am, and thank you so much, Abhishek sir, for this successful
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.